the dollar will survive. There's too many dollars in treasuries across the world. It's not un-American to be hateful and rounding up people and killing them and throwing them in camps. Matter of fact, it is 100% in the American history to be doing stuff like this, and the people who are doing it are the flag waving, blue blooded Americans. Like, these are the people who, you know, look back at every violent criminal thing the US has ever done around the world and says, yeah, let's do that at home. The United States is so big that I don't think you can change the course of the ship without breaking the ship into 1,000 tiny islands. And most of those islands will be scary Christian version of Sharia law. Like, if the United States were to break into different sects, you would be afraid to travel through most of the states at that point. Like, the United States would become, you know, the violent fantasy that people dream that the Middle East is. Like, you would be afraid to drive, like, yeah, you'd be afraid to drive through different states depending on who your identity. All of this stuff is related. And I think we could see the country fall apart politically, but the economy never stop. I don't think the dollar ever loses value, and I don't think the stock market loses its value. I think that, and I know this sounds crazy because everybody thinks that revolutions and countries ending always means like this death of the economy and the death of the way of life. And so I don't think it's totally true. And there's really only one historical example of this being true, and that is the Velvet Revolution of Czechoslovakia in 1989. Basically, that country was a communist country, got overthrown by a revolution to become a democratic country. You know, obviously there's speculation there as to how much involvement, you know, international or U.S. involvement was there. But point being, the stock market survived and the money survived, and it just kept going. Now, I understand we're a very different size country and we have a very different thing going on. We have a much, you know, more violent thing going on. Meaning that they had a lot of peaceful protests, and I think our protests are mostly peaceful at this point. I think that the portrayal of violence in the protests is mostly false.